Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at Newsmax.com.
Now,
you are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
are you okay with the president calling our neighbors garbage? I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word.
Uh-oh, what's that? Racist? Is it racist? What is the word that he's talking about? Who would
Tim
drive
Walz
by?
is a retard.
Oh,
Bye.
Hey, that's the word we're looking for. You're not supposed to say that. I didn't say it. Donald Trump did.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. Millions you can steal.
It's been Christmas for years up
They
there.
stole a ton, nothing was done. Hey, Tim Walz, what's the deal?
I don't think they even celebrate.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. And in case you didn't hear,
I wonder if he'll get tampons.
oh, by golly, have a holly Somali Christmas this year.
Buying a lot of tampons.
Ilan Omar, she's in on the theft. It's another reason
Yes.
you can't trust the left.
Doobie.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. Tim Walz, let it take place. Oh, by golly, Tampon Tim will never, ever save face.
Wow. You know, I haven't had to buy tampons in quite a few years. I used to have to go to the grocery store and get those for a wife and a daughter. I could never get it right. I was like, what the hell is a Tampax Pearl? What the hell is that? Is it like the Pirates of the Caribbean, the tampon Black Pearl? I had no idea what the hell it was. What's a pearl? What's a maxi? What the hell? Tim Walz knows, and I bet you could buy a lot of them for $1 billion. Hey, welcome to the show. Please, come inside. I mean, honestly, the Democrat Party is the gift that keeps on giving. You know, I've said the conservative comedy is on the ascent because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. You got a governor in Minnesota who thinks that tampons belong in boys' room. They don't have a magima. I just thought you should know that, Tim. They don't have a magima. That's where you put those things if you're. Well, I'm not going to get into the details. It gets kind of nasty after that. But honestly, and then it turns out he's in cahoots with the Somali population, just loading up a cookie jar with billions of dollars, and they were just stealing it left and right, and everybody knew about it. All the Democrats up there knew about it. Yeah, they did. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. You know why? Because it's my constitutionally protected opinion, and I'm not stupid. Several high-profile Minnesota Democrats allegedly received thousands of dollars in campaign contributions from those behind the biggest welfare scam in history. Shut the front door. Are you saying that Ilhan Omar, the woman who actually pushed through Congress $250 million for the Feed Our Children Fund, which was basically a giant grab bag for Somali fraudsters, are you saying that maybe she could be involved after she got him the money and then got a whole bunch of it in campaign contributions? Are you crazy? You're a racist. You are a racist. You just are a xenophobe or something. Maybe... I don't even know what the hell you are. You're so awful. Minnesota Democratic lawmakers, including the Attorney General, were handed over $53,000 in campaign contributions by fraudsters who ripped off taxpayer cash meant for Feed the Children, according to the New York Post. Keith Ellison, his councilman's son, and Mayor Jacob Fry, Representative Ilhan Omar, and others received cash from the scammers who siphoned off some $250 million, largely through the nonprofit Feeding Our Future, but they also took about $1 billion from fraudulent claims of autism, and nobody caught it. Even the AG of the state didn't notice. It used to be, hey, our budget for autism was $2 million last year. This year, 2 years later, it's $400 million, and they didn't notice it. Sure, they didn't notice it. Whatever. whole lot of Somalis have places living around Lake Minnetonka up there. I used to hang out there. Ellison's campaign took in $10,000 from businessman Gandhi Mohammed, made a maximum $2,500 donation to Ellison's re-election campaign, was indicted on federal bribery and fraud charges last year. Ellison was to receive 3 more maxed out $2,500 donations from people associated with Feeding Our Future. A cool $3,000 went to Ellison's city councilman's son, Jeremiah Ellison. Democrat Mayor Jacob Fry scored $9,000. Democrat Minnesota Senator Omar Fataho took in $11,000. We're only beginning to see the beginning of the scandal. It's just kind of crazy, right? And who would have seen this coming? I mean, who could have seen that maybe there was Somalis coming into the country and they were just robbing the country blind, or the state blind? Who would have seen that?
Here in Minnesota, you've seen firsthand the problems.
Oh, this is Donald Trump in 2015.
With faulty refugee vetting, with large numbers of Somali refugees coming into your state.
What?
Without your knowledge.
What?
Without your support or approval. And with some of them then joining ISIS and spreading their extremist views all over our country and all over the world. Honestly, it's hard to believe.
No, not really. No, it's 10 years later. This is the Minnesota commissioner, I guess, kind of giggling, talking in front of the press about all the money that's been stolen.
I'll try to answer the question I think you're asking. It to the extent that it's driving spending increases, it would show up in the increased spending in forecasts.
Just being accounted for as spending, not specifically as a line item of fraud?
Correct.
Wow, they're laughing, they're giggling, think it's funny or something. That's not going to be so funny when your ass is in jail. Yeah, Tim Walz took a station that say they used to have like a $9 billion surplus into a $6 billion deficit. They are broke. The state is broke, but he says it's the best darn state ever. It's run real good, real good. Here's a Republican in the state house talking about Keith Ellison. He's the AG of the state of Minnesota, and they actually have evidence of him talking to Somali fraudsters and supporting them, even though he knew that they were stealing money.
Recently released audio recordings reveal conversations that happened between the Attorney General and individuals who were later implicated and in some cases convicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal. In those recordings, the Attorney General...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Now, you're going to hear Democrats interrupt him because he's trying to make a point here. They're interrupting him so he can't speak.
Since 124, paragraph 1, in debate, members must confine remarks to questions before the body and avoid personalities. The debate here is not any individual. It is the policy and the amendment.
Representative Niska.
The Attorney General was asked in those recordings to use his authority to protect businesses under investigation for wrongdoing, and rather than distance himself or remain neutral
what did he do?
To allow the legal process to unfold, he responded in those recordings, "Of course, I'm here to help."
Wait, hold on. He said that he was here to help the fraudsters, and he's going to get interrupted.
Mr. Speaker, there was a point of order, and I didn't hear a ruling or any resolution of the point of order. Was there a resolution to it?
That there was no ruling made by the Speaker as to the point of order that was just stated.
Next.
Representative Niska.
Go ahead.
The Attorney General in those recordings even urged the individuals, let's go fight these people. He was offered campaign contributions during that meeting, contributions that he later accepted. The release of those audio recordings raises questions about what's going on in the Attorney General's office.
Got a whole damn Democrat Party in the whole state of Minnesota. There's going to be a whole lot of people going to jail. I'm hoping Ilhan Omar gets investigated and then indicted and then tried and then deported.
Go directly to the need to pass the legislation that we had previously debated, House File 20. Although he has insisted that nothing came of the meeting,
except for some campaign donations,
his office blocks disclosure of closed investigative data.
Oh boy.
Since 124.
The A11 will help ensure that what happens behind closed doors
and when we get behind
in the Attorney General's office sees the light of day. we can protect people's privacy while shining a light on what the Attorney General's office is doing.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper interviewed a visibly nervous Keith Ellison, and he said he wouldn't change anything yesterday.
I do want to ask you about the fraud scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, because the president's comments seem at least in part fueled by...
Is that a sphincter tightening I heard in the distance?
Or he's talking about this fraud scandal that we mentioned earlier involving that charity called Feeding Our Future. The vast majority of these 70 defendants charged in the
first I've heard of this
case were Somali. For perspective, those are nearly 80,000 Somalis in the state. How much... critics have said that state officials, including you and the governor, did not act fast enough or quickly enough to investigate charges.
Because it's been going on, I don't know, for about 4 or 5 years, and they took $1 billion.
There's a fraud against the Feeding Our Future and did little to flag
feeding our bank accounts.
their allegations to federal authorities. I know you said it was the federal government that didn't move fast enough.
Yeah.
Is there something you wish you had done differently?
No, we, first of all, the Department of Education denied claims when questionable claims were made about these meals. My office went to court, explained that to the court. A judge actually found the department in contempt for denying claims. And we cooperated fully and worked well with the FBI.
Yeah.
We are.
Why didn't you stop it then? Why didn't you stop it? Oh, I tell you what, this is it's just kind of fun to watch. Isn't it kind of fun to... I'm in such a good mood today. Oh, my God in heaven. This is the kind of stuff, this is the kind of accountability that they called retribution. But it's, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, butt kicking, I don't even care. But people are going to pay for what they did as more of this fraud is exposed. And it didn't stop in Minnesota. It's in Democrat states across the country. It's being exposed. Why they opened the southern border, what happened with all that money that Joe Biden passed with COVID and all that. It was a massive scam on top of Obamacare, which is another massive scam. I told you the Democrat Party was doing a death spiral into hell, and they're dragging, kicking, and screaming, trying to grab us and pull us in. But we're not going to go there, are we? We're going to celebrate Christmas and watch these SOBs take it in the shorts. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
There's no place like jail for Kelly to stay. Alyssa Slotkin should be there too. Their sentencing will be a happy day, 'cause they broke the law and they will get their due. I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all indicted, 'cause there's no place like jail for those six to stay. In a cells where all of them should be. A court-martial, it could come any day. Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key. The House wants me to testify about Jeffrey Epstein, but I've got lots to cover up, if you know what I mean. They'll ask me about the island, on what went on down there. I could go and tell the truth, but I wouldn't dare. I am dodging subpoenas, and so is my wife. We will try to dodge them for the rest of our lives. We are dodging subpoenas. Comer says we'll fail, 'cause if we keep on dodging, he will send us to jail. We are dodging subpoenas, could find us in contempt from prosecution. We are not exempt. We are dodging subpoenas because we are afraid. Drugs transported by boat. Venezuela, you best take note. Cartels, they're having fits 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat, Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
My message is simple on this. You commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to prison. I don't care what color you are, what religion you are. Anybody who wants to help us in that, we welcome that. But setting on the sidelines and throwing out accusations, and let's be very clear, demonizing an entire population and lying to people about the safety and security of this state is beneath that.
He's trying to play the race card here. He's trying to play the discrimination card. No, the problem is Tim Walz. The problem is he was warned of this massive amount of fraud, and yet he turned a blind eye for political reasons. That's why he turned a blind eye. So we want to stop this from happening, obviously, but we want to find and hold people accountable for allowing this to happen and see if this is being replicated in other states.
Oh, it is.
All right. Well, we look forward to the results of your investigation.
We do, John Roberts. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Omar allies tied to massive Minnesota COVID meal fraud scheme involving Somali community. This is just one of the many, actually. There were several. The HSS was involved. And let's see what else. There was autism. They, a bunch of Somalis got together and said, hey, tell the doctors your kid's got autism. We can make a lot of money. So they went from like $2 million a year to $400 million a year for autism and all of that stuff. So there you go. Individuals tied to Ilhan Omar, including a former campaign worker, and associates of the Minneapolis restaurant she frequented, allegedly profited from the scheme. Members in the inner circle of Ilhan Omar personally profited from the $1 billion welfare fraud scandal in her district that has placed her Somali constituency under a White House microscope. Omar was introduced the legislation that led to $250 million being defrauded from federal child nutrition in COVID. She did it. She took the money, and you ever fed chickens, just thrown some feed out on the ground and watch them peck it? That's what she did. She had a whole bunch of chickens. Around 200, that's racist or something, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, around $250 million in states' funds distributed beginning in 2020 to provide meals to school children who never got fed, just like the kids in Somalia. During the pandemic, however, the money was allegedly pocketed by Salim Ahmed Saeed, the co-owner of the Safari restaurant where Omar held her 2018 congressional victory party. Oh, my God. Saeed was convicted in March for his role in the scheme, with the Justice Department stating that the funds intended to feed children are used to finance a lavish lifestyle, $2 million Minneapolis mansion, $9,000 a month shopping habit at Nordstrom. Nordstrom, hell, that's fantastic, man. I wish I had that kind of money to spend at Nordstrom. Free meals were made possible by the 2020 Meals Act, introduced by Omar. She might have visited one of the meal sites just to make sure that the money was being distributed, since she introduced the freaking bill. In August, Gaid Sayou Shaha, a Democrat activist and former Omar campaign official, pled guilty to running the fake food site. He claimed that 5,000 meals a day to children, pocketing millions, the Justice Department said, and worked on Omar's 2018 and 2020 campaigns as an enforcer who oversaw voter turnout efforts. And let's just say, I'm thinking that not only is corn and beans harvested, but votes are harvested in the state of Minnesota. 78 defendants have been charged and is widely considered the largest pandemic relief fraud scheme in the United States of America. Why did this happen? Why did Tim Walz and Keith Ellison allow this to happen? Well, here is a report from the Free Press and how they use DEI. Pay attention. This is pretty good stuff.
Between 2020 and now, federal prosecutors say that more than $1 billion was stolen
by the
from
way,
Minnesota's
this is a woman of color
social service programs and funneled to fraudulent nonprofits like Feeding Our Future. These organizations claim services for tens of thousands of children who didn't exist. Instead, taxpayer dollars went to funding luxury houses.
See, if you got imaginary kids, you can give them imaginary food.
High-end cars, jewelry, overseas real estate.
Which costs nothing, so you can take the money and steal it.
Projects, and worst of all, Al-Shabaab, an Islamist terrorist group in Somalia. Now, new reporting shows that the Minnesota Department of Education officials noticed red flags early. They questioned invoices that made no mathematical sense. They noticed new feeding centers were registered in strip malls that were basically empty. They saw providers claiming to serve more
all Elon Omar or Keith Ellison had to do was go to those strip malls, and they never did.
Meals. Then there were children living in entire zip codes. And every time they tried to investigate, they were hit with the same accusation.
What's that?
If you expose this, it's racist. That's because Feeding Our Future was run by American citizens of Somali heritage. When the state began scrutinizing their applications, the organization filed a discrimination complaint with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights and later sued the Department of Education, accusing it of racial bias and discrimination. Feeding Our Future weaponized DEI by telling the Minnesota Department
Weaponizing DEI? Well, why does DEI exist?
Of Education that failing to promptly approve new applicants from minority-owned businesses would result in a lawsuit featuring accusations of racism that would be sprawled across the news. In the post-George Floyd climate, that threat carried enormous political power. So agencies backed off, approvals kept flowing, and the fraud exploded. Most of the people charged in this fraud are a tiny fraction of Minnesota's Somali community, which is now stuck with the stigma created by a small group of offenders and a state government.
Well, it's not as small as you think. Not as small as you think. Here's Senator Jamie Comer talking about Ellison and Walz.
Well, first of all, what you're going to see is the fraud entailed a whole menu of government programs.
Really?
Social programs. And that's kind of the mojo for the Democrat Party now. They want to put more and more money into social programs, but yet they refuse to accept responsibility for any type of waste, fraud, and abuse. What we know is the state employees.
Maybe this is why they didn't want Doge. Oh, my God.
In Minnesota rang the bell. They blew the whistle that there was massive fraud.
Well, doesn't that kind of make sense now? The reason why they went after Elon Musk and said he was a Nazi, and now he's not a Nazi anymore. It's weird.
And yet Tim Walz and Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, apparently turned a blind eye to that for fear of political retaliation from the large voting bloc of Somalis.
Oh, my God. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving the feces hitting the fan. Looks like Tim Walz is going to be getting coal in his stocking, Keith Ellison too, but Birch Gold thinks as a smart planner, you deserve silver, and gold, everybody. For every $5,000 invested in Birch Gold, you get an ounce of silver, which is up 60% this year. See, smart people diversify and have an edge. That's why I encourage you to buy gold from Birch Gold. With the Fed rates, with rate cuts coming from the Fed, the dollar will be worth less. And what happens if the AI bubble bursts next year? How about you get some gold in that portfolio? All right, so here's what you got to do. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. And they're going to send you some information, and you'll be eligible for free silver with qualifying purchase before the 22nd, which is coming up, because, heck, it's already the 5th today. Holy hell. It's already the 5th of December. So if you want silver and gold, text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, a company that I trust. I have my money with them, and you should as well. Coming up, Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, always a lot of fun. We'll be talking about all this criminality in Minnesota and Donald Trump sinking drug boats and Pete Hegseth has been exonerated because, it was all a bunch of crap. All of that is coming up on the other side of this break. And this is the Rob Carson Show.
Speaker19, this here's the Iceman. You got a copy on me, Pigpen? Come on. I was just passed by a gang of truckers I ain't never seen before. They were yelling out their windows, "Death to America." Yeah, we definitely got the front door. Mercy sakes alive. It looks like we got us an Al-Qaeda convoy.
ICE just arrested a terrorist in a truck. The fact that he ain't hurt no one, well, that's just total luck. He was here illegally for jihad, he is called. Only a liberal Democrat wouldn't be appalled. We got a terrorist convoy here illegally. They could pose a major threat, a threat to you and me. Terroristic truckers, wonder what's in their load. Wouldn't be surprised if a rig of theirs explodes. Convoy.
We'll catch you on the flip-flop, Pigpen. This is the Iceman. Over and out.
We're sinking vessels, one's loaded with drugs. Mow the boat down with U.S. airstrikes to target the thugs. We think's it's time to mow the boats down. Narco-terrorism we won't tolerate. Mow those boats down. Stop your drug traffic before it's too late. Otherwise, we'll mow your boat down. Shape up Venezuela or we might attack. Maduro, we will take down. Drug boats you're sending will never come back. We'll sink them all and watch the men drown. We know who you are, we'll mow your boat down. Won't get very far, we'll mow the boat down.
Rent-free, in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
Hey, quick question for all the people mad at Donald Trump for calling that reporter a piggy.
Come on.
Would you prefer to be called her Hitler, racist, rapist, pedo, dictator, fascist,
Nazi?
Would you prefer one of those?
Metallica!
As staff, we firsthand witnessed and observed fraud happening, yet we were shut down, reassigned, and told to keep quiet, sometimes more. There are even allegations, Mr. Chairman, of retaliation against whistleblowers.
That's retaliation. Such a disregard for taxpayer dollars is criminal in itself. But to do it for political gain, that's even worse. Hopefully, we can set an example and hold people accountable for this type of negligent abuse of tax dollars, because I think this is not just a Minnesota thing. I think we're going to see this in other blue states that all they talk about, these Democrat governors, is more and more social programs, more and more SNAP benefits, more and more Medicaid, but yet they refuse to admit that there's any level of fraud. So hopefully this is the tip of the iceberg, and I think this investigation could lead to many more investigations in other states, and hopefully finally some savings of taxpayer dollars.
You know, it's kind of weird. They opened the border wholesale, then they passed all sorts of emergency spending, and they doled it out to the states, and then Democrats got a lot of largesse out of this, and then Elon Musk came in with his Doge. He was going to go after waste, fraud, and abuse, and they attacked Elon Musk and said that what he was doing, he was a Nazi, for God's sake. They burned his car dealerships. He was a Nazi, and I guess he's not a Nazi anymore. It's kind of weird, isn't it, Tony Kinnett of the Daily Signal? Isn't it just kind of weird?
I mean, if you're looking for like a significantly normal standard, like if you're looking to see the same thing day after day, I have no idea why you would go to the media and the politicians who report about Elon Musk. They change opinions on that man faster than a junior hire changes their outfit 47 times a day.
Yes.
All right? It is ridiculous nonsense to the extreme.
Yeah, well, you know that something was going on because the Democrat Party was doling out all sorts of money to NGOs and to illegals, and of course all of these illegals they were buying their votes, and the Democrat states now are not turning over all their how much SNAP benefits went to people there. Only Democrat states are withholding that information and voter roll information. Isn't it kind of funny, Tony? It's like maybe they had something going on there with bringing in illegals and signing them up to vote and giving them stuff so they'll vote Democrat.
And also, you don't need our records on SNAP. You don't need our records on Medicare and Medicaid. You don't need our records on the Department of Agriculture subsidies. You don't need our records on anything because... Why? Well, you don't think immigrants are committing $1 billion worth of fraud, do you?
You are such a racist. You are a racist. You're a racist.
I knew it. I must get it from you didn't realize, Rob, that I have a very rich Somalian heritage.
Yes, you are. You look very Somalian.
I know. That Cherokee and Irish blood just comes through Somalian, doesn't it?
You very much could be Somalian because the pipe bomber is white.
Yes. And also that city councilman in Maine, who's also a rather dark man, apparently white as the driven snow.
Wow.
This is color blindness to an extreme. I don't know whether to be proud or confused.
Now, you know that obviously Jake Tapper said that the pipe bomber, despite the fact that he's a black man, is white. That's what he said. That's what he said yesterday. Even though it had been uncovered that they showed pictures of him, which usually is a good indication of somebody's heritage. But Tapper called him a white guy last night. Unbelievable.
I just don't understand why I'm not trying to be I'm purposely obtuse here. Mm-hmm. I'm serious when I say I don't understand what their method is here. It's so easily disproven. Do they really just think that people leave it on in the background and absorb it like osmosis? Maybe. I can't imagine treating my audience like this. Really, I can't imagine us treating the people who are listening to us or watching us for news or updates or analysis, whatever. And I mean, not just kind of fudging the truth or a little hyperbole here and there. I mean, just giving the finger to your audience like he does consistently.
Wow. It is remarkable. So we had that. We had the pipe bomber unveiled. Turns out kind of an Antifa kind of supporter. They're saying that he disagreed. He thought that the 2020 election was stolen. Okay, sure, because if that were the case, if he were pro-Trump, saying that he thought the election was stolen, why did the FBI sit on the case for 5 years until Kash Patel and Dan Bongino came along?
I see your question, and I raise you a spicier question.
What's that?
Here. Why are we trusting the testimony of a guy who was just caught, and they're like, hey, why did you do it? He's like, I thought they stole the election from Trump. When you actually look at his record, the business he works for, his father's business, sued the Trump administration in the first term, according to a Daily Wire Luke Rosiak investigation, because they were trying to free people from ICE custody.
Yes.
And then they had, Trayvon Martin's lawyer in the early part of the Biden administration trying to get Tennessee people arrested for being racist, for asking questions about their bail bond company.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, they went from being Democrat, anti-Trump, to like pro-Trump for a day, and then back to anti-Trump, pro-Biden. I sure believe that testimony today.
Yeah. This is a tangled web, and I haven't had the chance to completely digest it yet.
Why would you want to digest it? Have you seen him? He looks disgusting.
I know. I need all sorts of Nexium or something. But no, you're able to figure this out so quickly with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. There were people in the FBI. All it took was replacing the people doing the investigation, which generally means they're leaning on their shovels and doing nothing. And so why would they do that? Why would they do that, Tony? Why would it take this long?
Because you don't need another law. You just needed the right president, whether it's the border, whether it's the DOJ, whether it's the congressional getting rid of the Biden fuel economy nonsense. You just needed a man to give the middle finger to the Democrats and say, screw you, Americans are coming first.
You just needed somebody to do something. And I've said this since Reagan. I was the first president I voted for was Reagan in high school. And he is the first president we've had go to Washington, D.C. and do something. Because all they do otherwise is take our money and say that we're going to fix Social Security, we're going to fix education, we're going to fix the infrastructure, we're going to fix this, we're going to fix the VA and all this, and they never fix anything. And then they were able to put the pedal to the metal on government spending by using COVID to increase the size of government 40%, and guess what they did then? Nothing!
I'll say that. Just a real emotional moment here. Get out the Sarah McLachlan music just to really...
let me find it. Hold on one second.
After school special moment.
Yeah. Okay.
I really want everyone to know that when I see ICE going through Minneapolis and just grabbing Somali migrants and illegal immigrants off the street, that's all I wanted. That's Christmas for me. So I'm already getting what I voted for.
Yeah.
Everything else, part of the angel, is bonus on the cake. But if I see the wonderful faces of fraudsters being arrested and hauled away, God bless them.
Okay, hold on a second. We got to hear some Sarah McLachlan. Instead of puppies, you're going to see the Somalis being hauled away by...
It's going to move them back to Somalia, but it's moving my heart right here, right now.
Yes, it is. All right, so we're going to take a break and come back. More with Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal in a second. This, my friends, is the Rob Carson Show.
Capitol attack. Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction.
I guess that Jake Tapper's dreaming of a Black Christmas then. I mean, he's got his colors mixed up.
Rods and cones have to be fried.
I guess so. You know what? He's gonna eventually figure out that the D.C. pipe bomber is a black guy in a couple of years, like he did Joe Biden having dementia. It takes a couple of years to sink in, apparently.
I mean, not his ratings. His ratings are sinking in real time. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, but, you know, when he looks at him, he says they're great. Just the opposite.
And then he'll bring on Ilhan Omar, and he tries to sound tough, and no one knows what's going on. Nobody knows what to do. By the way, you do realize that the producers for Jake Tapper are as confused as all get out.
I swear to God.
Like, there are actual producers for his show that are so confused at how Tapper decides to do coverage. They don't know if they're working for him or Sesame Street.
100%. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff going on now. I wanted to hear your take on this because you are you work at the Heritage Foundation. By the way, Tony took me to meet everybody at the Heritage Foundation. I didn't realize they had a row of studios called the Rush Limbaugh Studio Row. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, we love to honor the greats.
God, I tell
and of course, if you're going to get out there and do really good broadcasting and recording, then you got to have the right name on the building.
I swear to God.
That's just essential.
It was pretty cool. But you tend to do deep dives on a lot of stuff. This Supreme Court case that they were going to allow the redistricting map, another blow to the Democrat Party, and it sounds like the same thing's going on in Indiana. We're going to be talking to John Fredericks at the top of the hour about this. So let's hear your thoughts on the Supreme Court victory for the Trump administration, which will effectively add 5 seats to the House for Republicans. The Democrats, of course, reacted with California gerrymandering and all that bullcrap, trying to really, hyper screw Republicans because there's really no representation anyway. But your thoughts, my friend?
I have 2 thoughts. First of all, the states have the authority under the Constitution to redistrict however they want. And the only reason right now that there are states that are choosing to gerrymander or to organize any kind of political districting is because there are not enough voters who are out there essentially directly influencing the elections in their state. There's a lot of people who live in states where they are the opposite party of their particular representative. It happens. And all I can say is this. When the Democrats started playing the game of gerrymandering Illinois and California and Massachusetts to hell and gone, they thought no one was ever going to respond. The only way to back away from the gerrymandering palooza is for Republican states to play the game better and harder. You say, but I don't like that. Too bad. It's politics.
Bullcrap. Yeah, I'm tired of playing softball.
Sit here and pretend that we're going to be fair while you're screwing over the system. No, detente. Jerk.
What did you think of Afton Ben getting her butt kicked up between her shoulders in Tennessee? A lot of people are saying, the blue wave is coming, a blue wave is coming. No, bullcrap. I disagree. The Democrat Party is offering nothing but being contrarian to Trump. Do we need to be cognizant? Yes. Do we need to be aware? Yes. But a lot of positives are happening. Big Beautiful Bill kicking off in January. And also, we got people cleaning up the voter rolls around the country, and then all this fraud being exposed, so the Democrats aren't going to be able to steal elections like they used to. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say kind of. So first of all, I want the Democrats to be really overconfident here. Because there were more people in downtown Nashville who came out to vote. However, I want them to get overconfident because the most overconfident group heading into midterms loses. And what I want Republicans to do is be way more serious than they were in the first Trump administration around midterms. I want them to do the midterm GOP committee convention. That's what I want.
Me too.
I want big hullabaloo, all hands on deck, throw in the fire, because I don't want to leave this to chance. I don't want to say, we have momentum. Screw that. All hands in right now. Nobody quits. Run through the finish line.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good things happening next year. Next year is the, how do you say 250th anniversary is not sesquicentennial, it's the 250th anniversary.
Centennial. I'm not doing the fancy Latin language. It's the paper anniversary. Or screw that. It's the 250th.
Yes.
Eagle noises.
Yeah, and you know the really cool thing is that they're going to have an MMA fight on the White House grounds.
Yeah, used to that was just Joe Biden and the dude with fake boobs.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Oh, speaking of Joe Biden, Donald Trump doubling down on all the executive orders signed by Autopin, and it was a feast of his sycophants, not sycophants, but the people that surrounded him, going in and just getting all of these pardons and whatnot. And I had heard rumors, and you know, obviously there's rumors, but it wouldn't surprise me. They sold pardons. There's a reason why they did the pardoning, and Hunter couldn't sell his paintings, and there was no gravy train for the Biden family from Ukraine anymore. It would not put it past them to have sold pardons to people.
I also would love to put on the back of that as well that every single time Joe Biden has been asked about a pardon on camera, every time, I'm not joking, every time, excluding Hunter, every time, Biden's response, without doubt, and I'm really not joking,
yes,
has been, every time.
Yeah.
Joe Biden has not been mentally aware of a single pardon that he signed.
That's
now, other than Hunter. Seriously, even they've asked, like, what do you think about this? Like,
Yep.
soda.
Yeah. Jamie Comer actually brought that up. He said that he had no idea at all, which is exactly what Barack Obama wanted when he said that I'd like to sit in my basement, just pull the springs and talk to somebody's ear. That's exactly what happened. Nothing is not deliberate with Obama, and he always does with a wink and a nod. And all of this is coming out just in time for Christmas. It's a great time to be alive in America. All this fraud and malfeasance being exposed, and I think great things are ahead. Tony Kinnett, where can people find your glorious podcast and all of your awesome work?
If you're a masochist, you can follow me on X at The Tonus, TheTonus. However,
yes,
if you go to the Daily Signals YouTube page,
yes,
if we're not being in attempted swattings like we were this last week, you can find us there.
Really? All right, brother. Well, have a glorious weekend. We'll talk again next week. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. There's a lot of politicians. Right, we'll talk to the streamers. Streamers. Round the pony. Hello. Scarecrow. Valentina, full of himself. Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper's a-hole. Dear God. Just a complete a-hole. Let's see. You guys are talking about a lot of stuff I haven't been involved in, so I won't bother to get in there. Oh, yeah, proud to be a Jew. Didn't know Tony does such a good Trump impression. That was pretty good, wasn't it? That was pretty good. Yeah, let's move over here to YouTube at Jamaica Marcy. What's going on? When the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. Well, you know, yeah, that's true. I've been a sinner myself. I still do, but hopefully, you know, not wicked. We all strive to become a better person, right? Right? We also strive to be a more perfect union. It's almost like we were founded on Christianity. Greg Carlson, what's going on? Rick Ridgway, aren't you like a comic book hero? Rick Ridgway becomes live chat man. That Rick Ridgway just sounds like a superhero alias. That's a cool name, by the way. I love it, Rick Ridgway. Thanks for watching. Prane Yuperchat. Hello. Dale Arsenal. Good to see you as well. Vicky Stevens. All you guys, share with others, would you? Got to get these numbers up. Get these numbers up, people. Lower your cholesterol, increase my streaming numbers. That's the New Year's resolution we're looking at here. All right, it's time for me to talk. I got to talk. Hold on. Let's see. Oh.
You got 3:15 here.
It's snowing in Washington, D.C. Sing for me.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go.
Michael Bublé's voice is velvet, man.
Take a look at the 5 and 10.
I did some singing on social media. I did a little Elvis. Just go to all social media at Rob Carson Show. You hear that. Dick Durbin. Rush used to call him Dick Turban because he immediately stabbed our soldiers in the back when they were sent over to Iraq and Afghanistan. He did. He was a complete bastard. And because George Bush sent the troops over there, and he was popular for a while before we discovered what a joke that was. But Dick Turban, of course, stabbed our troops in the back. Now they're real mad. The Democrats are real mad that we're exporting illegal aliens, like the ones from Independence Day. And he's real mad.
This moment in the history of our nation is a terrible, challenging moment.
No, it's awesome.
For so many people. Not just the dreamers, but immigrants in general.
No, not really. Immigrants are fine. Illegal immigrants are going to leave.
I've been both angry and heartbroken.
We don't even care.
Watch masked federal agents parading in their combat uniforms with automatic weapons in the city of Chicago. I've seen them recap.
In the state of Illinois that you made into a living hellhole. A living hellhole. Here is Stephen Miller, who's awesome, talking about why Democrats opened the southern border.
This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement, for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies.
Yeah, this is why they didn't care about all the fentanyl coming across and all the people dying of fentanyl, because they're just American citizens. Do you understand how evil the friggin' Democrat Party is? Let them continue their death spiral into hell. Coming up, redistricting in Indiana. John Fredericks is going to join us. Mary Walter joins us next hour. More comedy from Jim Gossett as well on this Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2. We're going to be joined by John Fredericks in just 1 second, but I want you to hear this.
The worst part about getting into a fight is when you get punched in the face back. Do you think it's a coincidence that 40% of Californians voted for Donald Trump, but only 9 out of 51 members of the Congress are in Republican-plus districts?
Yeah.
Or that out of, I think, 26 members of the House here where Republicans voted 40% for Donald Trump, there's only 7 members of Republicans. There's no Republicans in any district in New England. You're running in Massachusetts. Have you ever seen Connecticut's 1st district, right? It's like a crescent moon. And if you overlay the precincts of Connecticut, you'll see that they just carved out the Republican districts to be in 3 separate congressional districts. So again, this is as Isabel pointed out, a Republican state doing what Republican states tend to do, just like what Democrat states tend to do. Yeah. Remember, New York was the first person to try a midterm redistricting last year, right? So this is the 2nd state.
And the Democrats have been playing dirty politics because they can't win on ideas. That's just the way it is. So they have to steal. They have to use mail-in votes. They have to count votes after the election. They have to bring in illegals by the millions, get them signed up, give them Social Security numbers and the whole deal. They can't win on ideas, and so now they're going bananas because the Republicans are playing a little bit of hardball. The Supreme Court has allowed Texas to use a redistricting map put together by Republicans, and the Democrats are just going nuts. In the meantime, you've got taxation without representation in Democrat states, sometimes no representation at all, and it's about time we started punching back. John Fredericks radio program, radio network. I'm on many of his glorious affiliate stations. I think all of them, actually. And he joins us on the phone from Indiana. How you doing, bud?
Hey, great to be here with the great Rob Carson on the Rob Carson radio show, carried nationally on the John Fredericks Media Network, lighting up the airwaves across America, noon to 3.
Yes.
Every day, the great Rob Carson. Now, live with me in Washington, D.C.
Okay, now you're back in D.C.?
No, I'm in Indianapolis.
Okay.
But you're in D.C.
Yes, I am in D.C.
So you finally moved there and got out of Kansas City. Hey, you got out just when the Chiefs tanked.
I know. Well, no. When I left, they tanked. It's because I left, they tanked. You should know that, John.
That's what I'm saying.
When I moved there, what happened? What did I do? When I moved to Kansas City, they win the World Series and go to the Super Bowl 3 times.
Then you leave and they don't even make the playoffs.
So let's talk about why you're in Indiana, man. They're doing the same thing. Republicans doing the same thing in the state of Indiana to try to even the playing field for Republicans as far as gerrymandering is concerned. What's going on?
So what happens is the Republicans in Indiana, a bunch of do-nothing, lackluster rhinos talking about Virginia nice. Basically, they're going to a bazooka fight with a pop gun and an ice cream cone. I mean, these people are ridiculous. Here's the bottom line. Yeah. The redistricting plan, which was dead, we got to pick 2 seats up. Got to fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
So very quickly, it's 7-2. We want to go 9-0. This is a Republican state where I am. I've been here all week. Going to be here all next week again.
Wow.
Right? A bunch of rhinos.
Wow.
So passed the House today. We got a 40-10 state Senate majority of Republicans. 40 Republicans, 10 Democrats. Mm-hmm. All you need is 26 votes. Should be a no-brainer, right?
Yes.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, we've only got 20 votes.
Wow.
We're down. Or I heard today we got 22. So we're down another 4 or 5. Why are we down? Because we got a bunch of rhinos that say, well, we got to be nice here, and we want good governance, and why are we doing this? And, it's not really right, and we don't want to be like California. We don't want to be like Texas. We're Indiana. So what really happened here is the opposition is led by Majority Senate Leader Rob Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rob Ray is Mitch Daniels' bitch. Mitch Daniels, former governor of Indiana, wanted to run again.
Yeah.
President Trump endorsed the current Indiana governor, former Senator Braun, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Governor Braun's the governor, and so he didn't endorse Mitch Daniels, So Senator Braun beat him, and so Mitch Daniels is butt hurt. He's butt hurt. So what does he do? He then makes a stand, falls on his RINO bitch, who is basically that's what he is. That's the majority leader.
Yes.
Falls on him.
Yes.
Roderick Bray, and he puts all this stuff together and says we don't want to be like them, and we're not doing it. So he's trying to hold his opposition together.
Yeah.
This is going to go on for a week. This vote is going to be, it just passed the House today, goes to the Senate, and then we're going to fight it out all week. The vote is going to be Friday. We're down. We understand we got 22 votes now. We're down 4. But here's the deal.
What?
I got a message for these clowns.
Please.
Okay? Let me tell you the message. Okay? The MAGA Inc. PAC and the president's political organization has promised 7-figure buys in primaries against all these RINOs that vote no if this thing goes down.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about $100,000. I'm talking about you're going to get primaried in Senate primaries in Indiana in the spring, and they're going to spend millions of dollars apiece in ousting these people to get them out of there. So I got a news flash for these RINOs. Okay, we're sick of playing T-ball when the other guys have got bazookas.
Amen.
So we're gonna
100%.
fight back. And if you're not willing to fight back, then we're going to kick your ass out.
Absolutely, 100%. Is Mike Pence playing for them, or does he still have a sphere of influence in the state of Indiana that is keeping these RINOs on board? It wouldn't surprise me one little bit.
Well, I mean, maybe he's going to go to Iowa and try to get 0.5% again, the way he did the last time. He's really not a player in this.
Really, he's not. He does. Well, it sounds like there are a bunch of RINOs like Mike Pence in the state of Indiana. So I just assume maybe they were still carrying the flag because Pence doesn't want to.
This is all about Mitch Daniels.
This
is all about a vendetta that former Governor Mitch Daniels is carrying against President Trump because he didn't endorse him.
Yeah.
He endorsed Governor Braun, who was a senator, because he could count on Braun to get stuff done like he's doing. He couldn't count on Mitch Daniels like you're saying now. So little Mitch's butt hurt. So that's what this whole thing is. And he's got a bunch of RINOs that are like, oh, well, we don't want to really make the Democrats mad. Don't want to make them mad. You have a 40-10 majority, you clown.
And, we got to take advantage of this while the sun shines, because the Democrat Party's already promising retribution. They want to win the midterms, all of this, and they're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. Honestly, we got to stop playing around with these people because they're evil people. They're evil, awful people. They'll do anything to win. Let me ask you this. I heard you the other day talking to Caroline Levitt. You brought up this website that Trump has put out there where he's exposing fake news. I thought that was pretty cool to hear you bring that up with her the other day. What kind of buzz have you gotten from that?
Well, those libtards in the press gallery, I have to go in there. You go in there, the first 3 rows there, it's like the bar scene of Star Wars, basically.
They got to hate you, bro. They got to hate.
They hate my guts because, first of all, none of them ask a legitimate. It's all gotcha questions.
I know.
And this is the thing. They all got their questions written out. It's either on their phone or they got a notepad, typed up. So even if somebody else asks the question, she answers it, they get called on. They read their question. I mean, they can't even retool a question.
Yeah.
This is what I deal with in there. And here's what Caroline said. Look, the game's over. You guys do fake news. We're going to call you out of this website. We're going to call your ass out. We're going to put it there. We're going to list all the facts. And we're going to embarrass you and expose you for the jokers you are.
Now, did you see Acosta the other day? Acosta said, I think we need to write a letter and say that we're gonna boycott the press conferences and not fly on Air Force One. I'm like saying, well, hell yeah, that's awesome. Why would you even propose that? I would be like, yeah, of course. It'd be like not inviting your drunk uncle who ruins Christmas every year to the holiday.
Don't let the door hit you in the teacher on the way out. Here's your hat. What's your hurry? Like, you're going to not go to, don't go to the press briefings. Then I can get a seat. Look, here's what they have to do.
Yes.
They did that website. It's great. Yeah. They also broke up the White House Correspondents Association, which is a total illegal cabal.
Yes.
They broke up their complete grip on who goes and who travels with the president and who goes into the press pool.
I love it.
They control that. Now, the White House comms department controls that. They took it over. They still have, they still have CNN in there. It's a rotation. But they let new media go in by me, so that's why I get to go to the Oval Office. So that pissed off the so-called White House correspondents.
I love it. Now, John, we do have to...
authority, but here's their power base.
Real quick.
Here's the next step.
Yes.
They got to take control of the seating chart, like Hegseth did at the Pentagon.
Yes.
He threw the fake news out.
Good.
He threw the legacy media out.
Okay.
They had 8 chairs in there. They had 6 offices. He threw them out. He gave them the new media, Breitbart, things like that. I don't cover the Pentagon. That's what they need.
All right, we got to run. We got to run, John. We got to run. You are in Indiana. You better get a pork tenderloin sandwich. You better find a big pork tenderloin sandwich. If you come back without having a pork tenderloin sandwich, I'm going to be mad at you, brother. Have you had one yet?
I'm no stranger to the utensil.
You better get on that. All right, John, where can people find all your glorious work?
At JF Radio Show. One handle everything. At JF Radio Show. You want the truth? I'm here at JF Radio Show. Follow me there.
The only guy I think who works harder than Donald Trump, for God's sake, man, you're the Energizer of money. God bless, safe travels. We'll talk again soon. Let's take a break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
Play Newsmax here.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax? I Ken edited it down to about 37
Good.
President Trump is right.
Little long.
Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2, and you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today.
So, I knew this was going to happen. The fraud in Minnesota by the Democrat Party and Tim Walz and Keith Ellison and Jacob Fry and the Democrat Party is much bigger than $1 billion.
Fraud investigators are finding in Minnesota is growing by the day. Kelly Loeffler, who leads the Small Business Administration, says in the 2 days her agency has been investigating the state, they've uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud. Just 2 days in. Several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have also told lawmakers they believe the total amount of fraud could total up to more than $8 billion. Governor Tim Walz, who is up for re-election, is under fire for all of this happening under his watch. But he says they have paused these programs. They've brought in outside auditors to get an idea of how far-reaching this fraud was. They're taking steps to keep...
Too late, Junior. You're going to go to jail. Oh, Timmy. I got to tell you, and this is going on all over the country. This is why the Democrat Party wants to cover up their SNAP benefits and how they used them. This is why they want to cover the voter rolls. This is the feces hitting the fan, people. This is the feces finally hitting the fan, and it's about damn time. What a filthy cabal of wretched, awful people. I swear to God in heaven. What else do I got here? John Roberts, Elon Omar. Oh, yeah, Elon Omar is threatening us. She going to be deported.
As much as Trump and his cronies want to act like we have no power to respond,
She sounds like she's trying to clear her throat.
Truth is we are more powerful than we think we are.
No, you're not.
And I want to underscore the importance of using every single leverage that we have at our arsenal.
You are going to get your arse booted the hell out of the country. Here's CARE. They're a radical Islamist organization, and they say that Somalis who stole the money from all of these agencies, and there could be all sorts of fraud in every damned thing that came from all of the COVID money. It's like it was a plan by the Democrat Party. Well, of course it was. And Kara is saying that the real victims of the Somalis stealing the largesse of the government are Somalians.
Free meals to needy kids. Of the 70 or so people charged in that case, most are members of the Somali community. Do you think that scandal is giving the White House ammunition for these attacks?
I think this actually, first of all, fraud is wrong. In fact, this particular fraud impacts specifically low-income.
Well, thanks for stating the obvious.
Families, which many are Somali Americans, and in fact, they were victims in this particular moment. But what's interesting is that this fraud, and there are many.
Okay, so for the Somalians who stole the fraud, stole the money, are victims. Unbelievable. They call that projecting, by the way, in case you were wondering. Yeah, the feces is hitting the fan. The feces is finally hitting the fan, and I love it. Details forthcoming. You know, they found supposedly the pipe bomber on January the 6th, and Jake Tapper, while they showed pictures of the guy yesterday, he's a black man. Jake Tapper said he was a white guy. And oddly enough, this is the same thing that Mehdi Hassan said on MSNBC in 2022.
Jelani, you're a black man. I'm a Muslim. When you consider how black criminals and
he's a Muslim
terrorists are treated, both by the legal system.
If you say Muslim, you're a Islamophobe.
And by the media. And yet the January 6th pipe bomber, who laid explosives in front of the RNC and DNC headquarters, still walks free. We just learned today that then Vice President-elect Harris was inside the DNC when the bomb was found there. We still don't take domestic terrorism of the far-right white variety seriously in this country, do we?
White variety.
No, we don't. We've seen this since the Obama.
Yeah, they're trying to say that white supremacy and all that. He's a black guy. He's a black guy. There you know. Here's John Solomon saying how they were able to figure it out. And earlier this week there was a big hit piece in a survey of FBI insiders, and they say that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are doing a terrible job. And the reason being is because they're doing a great job, and the people in the FBI have been there forever, and they suck at it. And the agency has become so profoundly corrupt.
Here's what we do know. The reason this case was cracked was that Dan Bongino, about 6 weeks ago, switched the team that was investigating it. He and Kash had talked, and they decided that they weren't getting any progress with the current team. They switched them out. They put some new AI technology to re-examine some of the evidence, and in just a short period of time, without not a single new tip, they were able to solve this case, which raises the question, why couldn't the Chris Wray FBI or the people that he left behind at the beginning of Kash Patel's era, why couldn't they solve it? But
we've talked about this before. Either they're gravely incompetent or they're allowing people to do things like Butler. Yeah, either they're profoundly incompetent or they're allowing people on the radar to get away with stuff. Here's what we know about it.
What we do know about the pipe bomber is that he began buying pipe bombing-like materials back in the late 2019. And then it's really important that right around the time that the BLM riots are ramping up in D.C. and across the country in the summer of 2020, he buys some more pipe bombing materials in that June 2020 timeframe. And then there's another purchase of pipe bomb materials. He kept buying them even after January 6th. What does that tell us from a law enforcement perspective? It suggests that this man has an ideological agenda, and that maybe he was in the pipe bomb building business for more than an incident involving January 6th. I think that's going to become very quickly. The next questions that the FBI is certainly going to ask is, who else was he working with? Who was he talking with?
If it only took them a few minutes to figure this out once they switched the teams, is it possible that for the last 4 years under the Biden administration, they weren't really trying that hard to find out?
That is a great question. It's going to be the first question I'm going to ask.
It's kind of interesting, right? And why would they not be able to find them? And why were the pipe bombs right out there in the open? How in the freak could they miss them right there in the open? Everybody could see them. Drug sniffing dogs went right by them. How is it? It isn't ending right now. This is just beginning, by the way. This is just beginning. What a tangled web the deep state weaves when first they practice to deceive. That's what they exist for. Mary Walter joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
With talent on loan from God. And have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush.
audience expectations every day behind this golden EIB microphone.
Mom Donnie, a socialist. Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of a muss. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
Give me a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk
That is Pentatonics.
Mary, did you
Now, I don't want to confuse Mary Walter with the Mother of God by any means. Son of God, I should say. But, and I certainly don't want to convince her with the other thing that Mary Walter.
that your baby boy has
This is like slightly like sacrilegious.
It's not sacrilegious. God can take a joke. Listen, God has a dark sense of humor, and trust me, I am his playing ground. Because my wife, I got my divorce papers on Valentine's Day. God has a dark sense of humor.
Yeah, no, I hear you every time. What's the saying? If you want to make God laugh, make plans. So.
It's 100%. How you doing today, by the way?
I'm doing great. How are you? We didn't get snow, though. You posted pictures of your snow, and Tony Kinnett put, we have a text thread, and Tony, I noticed Christian's not on that text. I think we drove him crazy, and he hounded him.
Christian Toto, he's like, I'm done with these people. I can't take it anymore.
And I just mute you. So it's easier that way, and then you think I'm paying attention. But you guys both have your snow, and because I live on the ocean, we really don't get snow unless it's a coastal storm.
You get a big old nor'easter. So there's a lot of stuff on the plate, and we're going to do 2 segments here, whether you like it or not.
I may have plans.
Can't cancel them. Let's talk about the serious stuff. The drug boat, the Democrat Party, they always take the opposite side of sanity and anything that Donald Trump tries to do. We now know that Barack Obama double and triple tapped all sorts of people, even if they're civilians. But the Democrat Party says, and it's been disproven, that these narco terrorists were clinging to the side of the boat. ABC News saying, no, they climbed back into the boat to protect the cocaine. What are your thoughts on the Democrats' reaction to us killing narco terrorists?
I just love that Donald Trump now has them defending drug dealers.
I know.
Right? Like that to me is the funniest part of this whole thing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh.
He knows precisely what he's doing. But I have to tell you, it's got to be he's got to get the economy under control. And everybody is saying that next year, Scott Bessent, Kevin Hassett, they're all saying next year it's going to be unleashed. I'm like, all right. But
Mary, you have a different perspective on the economy because you didn't go through the hell that I did in flyover country during Joe Biden's economy. So it is about messaging. I get it. But the economy does not suck as bad as it did during Joe Biden. We're just trying to repair the bull crap that he did.
Why was it worse in flyover country than it was in the People's Socialist Republic of New Jersey?
Because I don't live in an enclave like you. I lived in where people had to work 2 or 3 jobs to pay the bills and go grocery shopping.
You know both my husband and I hold down more than one job, right?
Well, that is true. I did see you at Walmart the other day, and thank you and Merry Christmas, by the way, as I was walking in and you gave me a card.
Yeah. That was the one ringing the bell outside.
No, listen, the Democrat Party, they're doing this affordability bullcrap, which, I mean, obviously, it's always been about affordability. Where you can afford, what you can pay the bills, whatever. Joe Biden caused inflation to go up to 9%. They're going to do everything to hammer home. And what Donald Trump has to do is he is going to have to get his message across in the vacuum of any positive news coming out of the liberal media. But I think that that their lies are not going to be big enough to cover the good things that are going to happen.
No, I agree, and ultimately, it's all about your own personal economy. It's the economy, stupid, right? And everybody's economy that's the one thing that is super personal. That's the thing that my economy. You can tell me that the economy is crap, but if I'm going to the grocery store and I'm like, wait, eggs are only $1.84 a dozen. What do you mean? Mm-hmm. Under Joe Biden, they were almost $5 a dozen. What are you talking about? Yeah. So it's very personal, and so he's going to have to. He can't just talk the way Joe Biden did because the media is not going to lie for him.
Yeah, what about this pipe bomber? Jake Tapper had a picture of the guy's a black guy, and he says he's a white guy. So I guess Jake is dreaming of a black Christmas.
Yeah, well, but you know what? You're laughing, but do you know, these are posted time and time and time again. There's a guy named Matt Van Swol on X.
Yes.
And he posts all the time where they get these people, these criminals, and they're men, and they are clearly black, clearly black.
Yes.
And on the police report it says they're white because they're cooking the crime statistics nationally. That's what they're doing. They're cooking the crime stats because they're hiding the agenda. And why do you think this guy, they just let this go? They didn't bother investigating this.
Yeah.
They knew who it was.
Yeah.
We heard years ago that they tracked this guy to the metro, and they know because you have to swipe when you get on and swipe when you get off in D.C.
Yep.
You can't just. It's not like New York where you can swipe once and ride all day. That they knew that he got off in Virginia, and they knew the stop he got off on in Virginia.
Wow. Why did they do it? Why did they sit on it, Mary? I think there are a lot of questions, and I don't think it just involves him. I don't think it just involves him. Do you think it's just about black and white? I don't think it's just about black and white.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out more. Yeah. But I definitely think that there's a lot more to this. That this was hidden. You can't walk anywhere, as you know, in Washington D.C. without a camera on you at all times. Don't pick your nose. Yeah. Don't pick your underwear out of your crack.
Nope.
Because it is on camera everywhere. You just got to walk awkwardly until you can get into a bathroom somewhere, and even then, it's probably on camber.
Well, here's the positive. Jake Tapper's going to write a book in 3 years and actually say that he is a black guy. So that's going to happen. There he is. I want to talk also about Minnesota. Holy hell. Now they're talking like $8 million of fraud. This is about, Joe Biden opened the southern border. They increased the size of the federal government by 40%. They started pumping all this money, SNAP benefits and whatnot. 40% of people on SNAP benefits are fraudulently on SNAP benefits. And I think this is going to blow up across Democrat-run states across the country. And it's going to get really big. They're saying $8 billion possibly in Minnesota alone.
Wow. Well, I saw one of the guys that they just arrested, or maybe I don't. He's somehow involved. My cable went out today. I had no internet, no cable.
Jeez, how do you survive? My God.
I felt like I was Amish. I'm going to have to go downstairs and wash the clothes. I'm going to take him to a stream and beat him on a rock. But they showed this guy, and there's pictures of him with Ilhan Omar, several pictures of him with Tim Walz, and he was running one of the biggest scam rings in the country. And there is James O'Keefe with O'Keefe Media has audio of a whistleblower. Well, it's not a whistleblower. The guy didn't mean to be a whistleblower, but saying that Ilhan Omar set some of this up. Like,
of course
she
did.
is into this knees deep.
Of course she
but
did.
I'm sorry, based on past performance being predictor of the future, nothing happens. Nothing happens to her.
See. I hope so.
She's a Democrat, number 1. She's black, number 2. She's an immigrant, number 3. And she's part of the ruling elite, number 4.
I don't know.
Is protected, right? 100%.
I don't know. I think it's going to be too big to ignore. I really do, Mary. I think it's going to be too big to ignore. She also was the one who sponsored the $250 million Feed Our Children, or whatever the hell it was, while Somalian children starve. They do the same thing they do in Somalia. They took a bunch of government money and they end up spending it on themselves while the children starved. Same thing in Somalia.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, there's a way to stop this, and it's super simple, and President Trump can do it. Tax remittances that go out of this country to other countries, number 1. And number 2, track them. If you're sending money to a foreign country and you're on benefits here, then we end your benefits. Use the money that you get and you spend it here.
Well, they are doing that
immediately.
They are making some moves on that. Let's take a break. We got more with Mary Walter on the other side of the break. A lot of stuff, not necessarily about what we just discussed. Other good stuff. Trust me on this one. Stick around. This is the Rob Carson Show. More with Mary Walter coming up in a second. She's without cable, and I believe she's churning her own butter as we speak. Let's talk a little bit about cyber crimes and all this. I got another on my home computer. I got another phishing expedition from Cloud. It's just called Cloud. It's not iCloud. It's just Cloud. Oh, you got to update your payment information. Otherwise, you're going to report you to the credit bureau. And you go, oh, my God, I better update my payment information because otherwise my photos will be deleted online and everything. No, it's all crap. It's all bull crap. It's a phishing expedition. They're trying to get my credit card number. But I ain't falling for it. Nope. Because you know what? I got this wonderful stuff. It is WebRoot Total Protection. I got it here in the studio. I got a computer here that's very important to me, as important as cable is to Mary Walter. It's that important. And right now you can get 75% off. But only with my exclusive deal. You got to go to webroot.com/Carson. Now, what are you going to get for it? Real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, phishing scams. Family protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, other dependents, up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs. And by the way, WebRoot has a 90% retention rate of their customers. They love it. I love mine. I get a little report on my computer every day. It says, here's what we found. Here's what we got rid of. Here's whose butt we kicked. You're safe, baby. Woo! There you go. So webroot.com/Carson, 75% off. 75% off webroot.com/Carson. The Democrats are defending drug dealers. Here is Jim Himes lamenting those poor little narco-terrorists.
You know, I live in a political world, and a lot of folks, if you just tell them, you know, the president is killing narco-terrorists in the Caribbean, you know, reasonably enough, they'll say, you know, a lot of Americans die because of overdoses. And, you know, they might say, okay, I'm supportive of that.
Only a couple 100,000.
Right. But what you need to do is you need to see two terrified men clinging to the wreckage of a ship. And these men are not, this is not Pablo Escobar out there on a boat. You know, these are guys that probably didn't have a lot of economic opportunity, made a terrible decision to participate in the...
Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard they're just trying to make a living. I've heard it was just cocaine. I just heard that yesterday. It wasn't fentanyl. It was just cocaine. Like, cocaine has never destroyed any lives or killed anybody. Mary Walter, I swear to God, the mental gymnastics they go to defend, it is insane, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. You know, and what they ignore and they don't want to hear is that Barack Obama used, I think, over 560 drone strikes in foreign lands, violating their sovereignty. This is being done in international waters, and he killed. And they had, like you said, double tap and sometimes triple tap strikes. There were survivors, and they also were totally okay with Barack Obama killing an American citizen who had never been charged with a crime.
But there were also a lot of civilians. There were a lot of families, a lot of civilians who were killed too. And Joe Biden killed an entire family after Abbey Gate.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So,
unbelievable.
But it's okay because you can. I just had this conversation with a friend. You can't have a statistic, like a fact-filled conversation, and give them numbers because they just don't believe it, because they feel that Donald Trump is evil, Donald Trump is wrong, so they can't think because they're so emotion driven. You can't have a conversation with someone who's not emotionally driven.
And
honestly,
they also have the pathos that women who fall in love with death row inmates have. It's like Luigi Mangione is dreamy. Luigi Mangione, he's dreamy. They're psychotic.
Yeah, they are. But see, I hate to say, I always used to laugh when people would talk about Trent-Arrangement syndrome, and these people are crazy. I think the second term has driven a lot of them. Look at Rosie O'Donnell. She's got her daughter, who's 12 years old, you know, mentally ill. I mean, that daughter has problems. I think she's ADD
autistic.
Or whatever, but
she's
so does
autistic.
everybody. She's like crazed about Donald Trump, that she can't come back to the United States because he's going to kill her.
It's abusive. It's abusive.
It is abusive, and it's truly a mental illness. And I don't say that to be funny or any. It truly is a mental illness.
It breaks up families, I've heard. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi coming back to the United States. How could you possibly return to Hitler's Germany? How could you do it while Hitler's still in charge?
Well, just to show how nuts they are, they're coming back for the weather. So it's okay. I mean, I realize Hitler's in charge, but Germany's got better weather. You know what I mean? So that's why they're leaving England, which I can't blame them. I spent the coldest summer of my life in England. It was freezing every day.
It's like, Cold November Rain, that song, Cold November Rain. That is frickin' Great Britain most of the time.
Exactly. So, to your point, though, how hilarious is it? Is that you left the country because this man is so terrible and threatens your life, your mere existence so badly. But the weather's better.
Yes, the weather's so much better in Hitler's Germany. 1 in 3 college students are claiming to be disabled to get extra time to complete their exams. When I was in school, we just called in bomb threats. I didn't, but that's what some people did. When I was in college, they would call in a bomb threat. Now they're just saying they're disabled.
Well, I can't blame them because you know what though, we laugh. But again, I can't blame them. I have a friend whose son is disabled. He's got the ADD and this and that and everything else, and it's because his parents are wildly not stable. So it's not him; it's his parents. But they wear his disability like a badge.
Oh, I know.
He gets more time, and he gets this, and this is what they advocate for, and he gets this and he gets that. Why should I be the dummy who has only so much time to finish the test? I have to do the work. Yeah. When I'm competing against other people who don't have the same restrictions. Why would I not do that then?
Because you have scruples. Because you have scruples.
Same thing.
But for parents, this is an extended version of Munchausen by proxy. That's what Rosie O'Donnell's doing. It's Munchausen by proxy. It is
100%. And I got to tell you,
my kid's trans.
It may be scrupulous, if that's the word. Yes. But I don't care. You know what? Because this is going to affect the job when I get out. This is going to affect my grade average, my grade point, my GPA. I would do the exact same thing. Sometimes you got to do things.
I can't even believe I introduced you with that song by Pentatonics, Mary. Would you know about the Virgin Mary? Now I know how unscrupulous you are. Unbelievable.
You know what though? I don't think you can. This is like the Republicans. The Republicans are like, well, we don't want to get rid of the filibuster because it's not the right thing. The Democrats are going to get rid of the filibuster and they're going to beat you with it.
Absolutely.
So you might as well get something out of it before when it's their turn they beat you with it.
I agree,
So
but I'm glad you didn't have children. I'll just tell you that. I'm really glad you didn't have kids. So anyway.
That's lovely, Rob. That's lovely.
It's great to have you on, girl. Where can people find your glorious podcast and all of your presence online?
Well, I'm all over Newsmax lately, so that's good. Newsmax TV, I'm all over there. My podcast is on Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, Getter, and Rumble. Just look for Mary Walter Radio. And can I just say very quickly?
What?
Can I tell everybody what a sweethart you are?
I suppose. You ruined my image.
I know. You come off. This guy comes off as all tough and, hyper. He's like a 3-month-old golden retriever puppy. But every year, because I fill in for him the last 2 weeks of the year, so I fill in Christmas and New Year's for Rob, so I'll be in for you the last 2 weeks of the year.
Yes, real quick.
He always sends me a Christmas present.
Well, I'm glad to do it because I'm very fortunate and very blessed. All right.
Well, very sweet.
Merry Christmas. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. And I'm not meaning to brag, all of the people who help me out, because I'm very blessed, I send them a gift basket, whatever. Jim Gossett, Mary Walter, certain people who work at a radio station that may be listening now. There's some stuff going. Chris Ruddy has hit Chris Ruddy something nice this year. But I feel very fortunate. And as long as I can do it, presumably I hope to do it the rest of my life, I will be generous with what I have, because I have. That's the most important thing. And I give a lot of I give money to Salvation Army, and I would encourage you to. I mean, I swear to God, guys, do not go buy a Salvation Army kettle without putting some in it. If you don't have any money, go to the ATM inside the Walmart, come out and put some money in it. Oh, let's see who's watching here. Aisle 9QI. Hello, what's going on? Never seen you on there before, or Ezel, whatever. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you. You're commenting a lot today. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. Duckman558. What's going on over my rumbly roo? Robert Myers, Sport Tech, he said that Millie needed to be put in front of a firing squad. Oh, I agree. And I also believe that Alejandro Mayorkas should be put in front of a firing squad. I do believe it. Believe it. Mo MI67, Transhausen by proxy. I like that. Robert Myers, hello. Over on Facebook, Vicky Stevens, what's going on? Oh, all sorts of comments I got to get to. Love your attitude, Rob. Kathy, thank you. I hope it's not a bad attitude. I think it's a good attitude. All right, how much time we got, Brian? That's what I thought. Not much. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Because Mary was gushing over Matthew.
I know, ridiculous. Making me look good. Yuck. Come on, backdoor Santa. Listen to this record.
They call me backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day.
About the break of day.
They call me backdoor Santa.
Yeah.
I make my runs about the break of day.
It's not what you think it is. Love that song. Got a lot of stuff to get to. I want to mention something real quick, if you don't mind. And I mean this from the depths of my heart and soul. Do not walk by a Salvation Army kettle this year without putting some in it. I stopped by the Salvation Army kettle. There's a guy up here on King Street in Old Town Alexandria, and I literally did a U-turn in the street because I saw he's ringing the bell, and I grabbed some money. I jumped out of the truck, left the hazards on, and gave him some money. I said, thank you. I gave him some money the other day when I was walking down the street. If you don't have any money, when you go into Walmart and there's the bell ringer out front, get some money at the ATM, get a little extra to register, and go out and give them some money. Give them, if you got $20, give them $20. If you got $40, give them $40. Do what you got to do, because these people live they do not live like Ilhan Omar and her charitable organizations up there. They exist barely. The people in charge of the Salvation Army live lives of poverty so they can help bring people out of it. They live lives without extravagance whatsoever. They devote their lives to saving the poor. And the guy ringing the bell, they saved him. The guy they saved, the people ringing the bells, they've been saved. Not only financially, but also spiritually. Do not walk by a Salvation Army kettle without dropping some money in it. Please. My mother taught me this from the day I was born. The Salvation Army is glorious. God bless it. Let's make it the best Christmas ever for them. Last hour of the show right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. It is snowing in the Washington, D.C. area, which I absolutely love because it's going to be cold. Why the hell not snow, right? Why not snow? So we got an hour of the show to go here. By the way, Donald Trump is in Washington, D.C., of course. The FIFA World Cup. They draw the names, I guess, for the FIFA World Cup and all of that. And by the way, it's coming to where I used to live. Kansas City is going to be there this year. And to the chagrin of the left, in front of 1 billion people worldwide, the FIFA World Cup dedicated their first FIFA World Peace Prize, and they gave it to Donald Trump. I can hear the heads exploding of the left.
FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, awards the 2020.
That was French, by the way, for the FIFA Federation of Soccer and all that.
25 FIFA Peace Prize. Football unites the world to Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in recognition of his exceptional and extraordinary actions to promote peace and unity around the world.
Wow.
Friday, December 5th, 2025.
Wow.
This is the certificate. Wow. It's yours.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then also there's this other thing. I guess he drew the first team that he drew. And this is for real. United States, baby.
Shocking. United States of America.
Come on, baby. Oh, Boston. By the way, that was posted on TikTok. So, yeah, good news. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. And Donald Trump secured another peace deal. I don't know if you know about this. He did another peace deal. Let me find my audio here. I've got some great audio. Between Rwanda and Congo. Remember Hotel Rwanda? Yeah. Between Rwanda and Congo. Donald Trump, there's no taking away from this. Democrats, so KMA.
The compact we're signing today, which will be known as the Washington Accords. Everybody sort of liked that name.
Yeah.
Formalizes the terms agreed to in June, including a permanent ceasefire, the disarmament of non-state forces, provisions for refugees to return to their homes,
imagine that.
Justice and accountability
for do something like that in Somalia.
Those who have committed illegal atrocities. Very importantly, this agreement also creates a new framework for economic prosperity. There's tremendous wealth in those.
Yeah, what did Joe Biden do? Well, he pooped his pants and went to bed at 9 o'clock. In the morning. Here is the president of Rwanda thanking Donald Trump.
But of course, the biggest vote of thanks goes...
I believe he is a person of color. Jake Tapper would say he's a white guy.
...to President Donald Trump.
Wow.
No one was asking President Trump to take up this task.
Nope.
Our region is far from the headlines.
Mm-hmm.
But when the president saw the opportunity to contribute to peace, he immediately took it.
Well, it's crazy because Mark Kelly says that Donald Trump is a complete racist. And so does every other Democrat in America.
When I heard the secretary say that they're going to pause immigration from third world countries, I mean, I take that as a message that they don't want brown people.
Honestly, you guys are so just intellectually and morally bankrupt, and nobody believes your crap anymore. Nobody believes your bull crap anymore. And what an amazing time. One of the reasons I moved here was because I wanted to witness history, and the next 4 years are going to be remarkable. What about affordability? Shut up. We have a president who is doing more than anyone we've ever seen this after every SOB in the deep state went after him. They weaponized the DOJ, the FBI, the TSA, the NSA, the DHS, everybody. They weaponized. They wanted to put him in jail. They wanted to take his fortune. They came up with 91 charges, political charges, after he decided to run for president again. I knew he was going to run again, and I knew he was going to win again. You know why I knew that? The day after the election was stolen in 2020. Oh, I could say that now. I moved here for this history. And by God, it is going to be a glorious history, and the Democrat Party will continue its death spiral into hell, because that's where they're going. And you can say all you want. Oh, I don't know. We got to get the midterm messaging out and affordability and all that. Affordability is happening, by the way. Joe Biden caused inflation to go through the ceiling. We all suffered through it. And no amount of lies from the left are going to be able to overcome the truth of the greatness that is happening in this country as we go into its 250th year. As freedom spreads around the world, coming to Venezuela, my friends, and then hopefully to Cuba, and it's coming back to France, and there is a wave of freedom and faith that is sweeping the world. You know, the number one Googled term this year was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Number one, Charlie Kirk. What does that tell you? It's not evil Democrats saying, yay, we glad he got his throat blown out and he died. No. It's look what they did. Look what they did. There is a spiritual now element to this freedom movement that is starting here and going around the world, and there's nothing the left can do about it. With that said, I'm going to play a little piece of satire from Jim Gossett about Somalians in Minnesota stealing lots of money. And they did. You can say it. It's not racist or anything. It's just a whole bunch of them have done it. Jim Gossett.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. Millions you can steal.
Send that to your started kids.
Stole a ton, nothing was done. Hey, Tim Walz, what's the deal?
It's a crap hole.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly Somali Christmas this year. Ilan Omar, she's in on the theft. It's another reason you can't trust the left. Have a holly Somali Christmas. Tim Walz, let it take place. Oh, by golly, Tamp and Tim will never, ever save face.
There you go. That is brand new from Jim Gossett. You can help him out by going to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Let's go to Sean in Live Oak, wants to comment about that. Sean, welcome to the Rob Carson Show, and Merry Christmas.
Greetings from West LibTardia.
Yes.
And I just came across this article on YouTube, and I'm going to forward it to you right now.
Okay.
But not only is there this great fraud committed in Minnesota, there's a loss of life. There's talking about this huge fentanyl, Somali-run fentanyl ring in Minneapolis that they took down.
Really?
And it's huge. I mean, they were able, for the chemical signature, to see that some of the fentanyl shipments were making it to Maine. So this looks like a fairly large source of fentanyl coming into the United States that the DEA and the FBI and ICE and U.S. Marshals took down.
Well, this is all part of the attempt to overthrow the government, to put in it's a great replacement theory. Yeah, it is. It is. It's replacing Americans with illegals, giving them largesse, getting them to vote for Democrats, and they didn't care how many Americans died. They didn't care. That's why they didn't say a damn frickin' thing about the hundreds of thousands of people who died of fentanyl poisoning. This Democrat Party is evil, evil, evil supreme. There's nothing good about this Democrat Party. There's nothing good about them. They have caused untold damage, sex trafficking of children, for God's sake, hundreds of thousands of deaths from fentanyl, and then they stole trillions of dollars from us to make sure that our votes became worthless, and when our votes became worthless, if they couldn't do that, they would kill us with fentanyl or kill our young people with fentanyl. I swear to God, Sean, this is unbelievable stuff. I'm glad that it's coming out, though.
Yes, and just one other thing on this, the kingpin of this Somali ring.
Yes. Hard to say who it is.
It's a minor, he was a minor warlord in Somalia.
Really?
I guess he got out for some reason, and he set up the same kind of operation.
Kind of like the child rapist up in Minneapolis who got out after raping a child, then raped another child. I got that story coming up. Sean, I appreciate you, man. I'll look into the story as it develops, but I do appreciate the heads up on that. Yeah, the Democrat Party, they don't give a crap about you and me. And I always wondered why? Why wouldn't they say anything about all the fentanyl deaths? Why wouldn't they say about all the people coming across the southern border? I mean, we were screaming, my God, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. Look at all these people coming across the southern border unvetted for disease or crime. Why are you doing this? And now I know. Oh, my God. I never even imagined there was such evil in our government. I never even imagined. And there is no doubt about it. If you disagree with me, please bring it. Please bring it. I would love to hear, because I will take you down so freaking fast, it's not even funny. Because the Democrat Party, as I've said, is spiraling into hell. And I ain't going to do anything to help stop the spiral. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
I love to end a war. How about you? I'm gonna end some more. You know it's true. India, Pakistan are at peace now. No war in Thailand, ceasefire in Iran. I'll take a bow. Rwanda and Congo ended their fight. And in Armenia, I made it right. Next up will be Ukraine, been a financial drain. Not anymore. Oh, how I love ending a war.
Tim Walz is a lefty who's ruined his state. Now he wants our children to self-mutilate. His policies are disgusting and lewd. And now he says schools have to include tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz and Kamala, a couple of fools. And everybody knows that liberals want to ruin schools. Tim allowed his cities to be burned by BLM. Criminals, illegals, they can count on Tim. His uniform, Tim was disgraced. He really crossed the line the moment that he placed tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz is a commie. Kamala is too, and everyone should know the damage that these two could do.
We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday. We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday.
have a blue Christmas
without you. Come on. I'm in the spirit,
I'll be so blue.
More than a very long time.
Just thinking
about you. So, I think this weekend I'm going to watch a couple of things. I'm going to watch George C. Scott, 1984 version of Christmas Carol, and Scrooged. I'm going to watch those two this weekend. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Breaking, Ilhan Omar now panicked after exposed that the owner of a restaurant who held her 2018 election victory party is a part of the Somali convicted fraud ring. She also got political donations from him, and she's the one who introduced the legislation to get $250 million for this kid-feeding charity in Minnesota. Oh, she's going to be arrested and deported.
The whistleblowers that I've spoken to are saying that the governor knew.
This is Marianne Rarick. She is a Minnesota state representative.
And the governor and lieutenant governor and even Chris Schmitter, who was his chief of staff, came to them as staff and scolded them for pointing out.
They all knew it. Told you.
Fraud.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar told CNN this week she believes the fraud spiraled out of control because COVID programs were rolled out without sufficient.
You knew it was happening.
Guardrails. It's also worth noting the owner of the restaurant where Omar held her 2018 victory party is among those from the Somali community who have been convicted of profit.
Jig is up, baby. Jig is up, baby. Democrat Party. It's coming. It is coming. It is coming big, and y'all are going to get in trouble. And it's all being exposed. And you know, I told you the left exposes its flanks so we can kick their ass. And that's just the case. That is just the case. What do I want to do here? I got some stuff. Yeah, I want to do this. Last night, the National Christmas Tree was unveiled. I did not go. Whatever. I will. I will. Maybe next year. Kind of in a bunch of stuff. But here is the president last night announcing the unveiling and the lighting of the tree.
Tonight, this beautiful evergreen tree glows bright on the dark and cold winter night and reminds us of the... Tonight, this beautiful evergreen tree glows bright on the dark and cold winter night and reminds us of the words of Gospel of John. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. Beautiful words. With the birth of Jesus, human history turned from night to day.
Yes.
His word and his example call us to love one another, to serve one another, and to honor the sacred truth that every child is specially made in the image of God.
Yeah. I wonder if the Democrats are going to bitch and whine about that. What are they going to say? I told you. A wave of freedom and faith are going to encircle the world. And the Democrat Party is going to do its death spiral into hell. Here is the president thanking those in uniform who the Democrat Party hates. The Democrat Party wanted to defund the police, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. The Democrat Party is calling our ICE agents Gestapo, 1,000% increase in assaults on them. It's telling our military that they need to disobey the orders of the President of the United States.
So this Christmas season, let me say thank you to everyone who serves the needy and lifts up the communities inspired by faith. Thank you to the police, law enforcement officers, first responders, ICE, and Border Patrol agents who risk their lives every day to defend the innocent, protect the good, and keep the evil and danger at bay. And thank you to the men and women of the United States military, including the brave heroes of our National Guard here in Washington, D.C., where we've set a record for lack of crime in 28 years.
Yeah, 28-year low of crime, and it's working, and the Democrat Party can't lie big enough to cover it up. I drove by Union Station the other day. They got these giant wreaths that are about 15 feet across, and it was just beautiful. Just beautiful. I just am filled with joy. I tell you what, I just can't even begin to say it. Here he is talking about two National Guard troops who were demonized by the Democrats. They were saying that they might shoot people. They don't need to bring the police. They're Nazis, for God's sake. And then whack job who Joe Biden let in as part of a mass migration of people unvetted from Afghanistan, ruled by the Taliban for 20 years, drove across the country to kill one of them. She was only 20 years old. And injure another, he was only 24.
I want to pay my highest respects to those two great guardsmen. You know who I'm talking about. They paid, in one case, the ultimate, and the other. Andrew is getting better. Sarah, unfortunately, is watching from a high.
20 years old.
Watching from heaven. Her parents are so incredible. And Andrew is hopefully getting better. He got hit hard defending us, and I just want to pay my respects to them, two incredible people, unbelievable people. I spoke with the parents and met the parents today, the parents of Andrew, and they have spirit and they love our country so much you wouldn't believe.
I can imagine your loss this time of year. Unbelievable. I think we need some good news. Don't you think we need some good news? Let me find the good news. Hold on one second. Where's the good news? Here is the good news. You ready for it? Here we go. Hold on one second. And now.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
Yeah, we got a lot of good news, including the price of gas, the price of gas. Unbelievable. Here are the numbers.
Time for the holiday season, gas prices going down across the country.
Yeah, according to AAA, the national average just under $3 a gallon.
Wow.
It's the lowest it's been since May of 2020.
Remember when Joe Biden was the president the first year? To fill my truck, it was $96.
Now here in Texas, the average a lot lower than that, $2.55 a gallon. Now experts say a cheaper blend is coming our way this winter.
Even cheaper.
Oil prices have been dropping as well, from around $81 a barrel in 2022 to nearly $60 in recent weeks.
That is pretty amazing.
This year have been.
That is pretty amazing. And then, of course, Trump's border streak continues with the best November numbers ever. Fiscal year began in October. Over the first 2 months, CBP has encountered 60,000 migrants. That's the best start to the fiscal year. 245 apprehensions across the 1,954-mile border. By contrast, Biden administration averaged more than 5,100 apprehensions a day over 4 years. Worst month, over 8,000 apprehensions a day. He did it on purpose to destroy the country, and people suffered. And then here's the good news. CBP is seizing more drugs. 59% increase in fentanyl seizures in November. Methamphetamine seizures rose 118%. Cocaine seizures up 40%. Unbelievable. Lives being saved. Joe Biden and the Democrat Party could have given a rat's behind about people who were dying from fentanyl, people who were being raped and trafficked across the southern border. Never forget them. Coal in your stocking for the rest of your mother bleeping lives as you rot in prison. How does that sound? I think it sounds pretty good. Let's take a break and come back. Christian Toto, Hollywood in Toto comes up next. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I'm gonna pay a visit. I'm headed to the Everglades. Gonna see a brand new prison for folks arrested in ICE raids. I hear it's already getting all kinds of accolades. Alligator Alcatraz, it's where illegals will be kept. We're cracking down, unlike Biden, who was totally inept. It is something that the liberals in Florida cannot accept. California Alcatraz, I want to open that one too. Just imagine the hard time that real criminals will do. Alligator Alcatraz, I'm gonna take a tour of you.
ask me, I won't mask. Don't ask me, I won't mask aboard a plane. And I won't wear one in a car or a train. Mandate, not needed. Freedoms, we've ceded. And now Joe, he wants it back. A new mask mandate is his latest attack. Joe wants you to mask when you are flying. The rationale for this nobody's buying. Claiming it's essential, simply lying. Yeah, it's appalling. It's like Joe Stalin. And that's why I won't mask. Can't make me to jail. You can't take me. I won't mask for you again. The flight attendants, they can casually ask. But when I'm flying on a plane, I won't mask.
Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are Rob Carson's friends. Better believe that they'll be friends to the end. Willie! A new coalition to promote freedom. They're all about liberty. The perfect trio to combat the left and look out for you and me. Mamas, please let your babies grow up to be homeboys. Hillbillies and Hebrews is who you should raise. You'll receive nothing but absolute praise. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are saving this country. They love this land and they'll give you a hand. We need to give them our thanks. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are friends to this nation. They've got our back when we're under attack. Homeboys, hillbillies, Hebrews.
From blue Christmas to white Christmas.
I love it. Come on.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yes, Christmas songs can rock. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Christmas music. I used to have to work at a radio stations. When you work at a radio station that becomes Christmas station, it's the worst thing ever because they only play like 20 songs. They're always the hits. It's always Bing Crosby and Nat King Cole and all that, and it's always the hits. It's always just that. That's it. 20. And one time I worked in Cincinnati, and we were going up against the soft rock, and let's talk. And they always go. They always win. Like Wash FM here in Washington D.C. They go Christmas, and so we were going up against the soft AC station over there, yacht rock station, and so they went Christmas music on November the 1st. I've never been, suicidal at Christmas, but that was a pretty rough year. I'll just tell you, it was a rough year. Joining us on the Newsmax Hotline, the proprietor of Hollywood in Toto, Christian Toto. How you doing, my friend?
November 1st is way too soon.
Dude, it was sickening, and again, you play the same song. This is why I shake it up. I like a lot of different groups. I like some rock. I like Run DMC Christmas in Hollis, one of my favorite Christmas songs, and not just because it doesn't give you the goosebumps, it doesn't get you teary-eyed, but it's cool. You know.
Yeah, that's enough, man. And, there are certain songs. Are there Christmas songs that you just would like to never hear again? Because for me, it's Feliz Navidad, which is not a bad song.
Yeah.
So basically, it's about 30 seconds of a great song that they play for like 2 minutes and a half.
Yeah, I've got a version of that by Jim Gossett that I will play very shortly about deportation of illegals. We'll get to that very shortly. Mine is that stupid song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Are you freaking kidding me? Whoever liked that song? What?
It's pretty bad.
Oh, and then, listen, Grandma got run over by a reindeer was cute the first decade. And now it's like, okay. Yeah. And they're not really playing it much anymore, are they?
No, I think I've ducked that one for a while, but yeah, there should be songs that just go away for a while. Just take a nap.
There are movies that you get so tired of you just don't want to watch them anymore. They're really great movies, but like Grandma Got Run Over Reindeer and I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, there was no good reason to like that song. My God, what the hell were you thinking? So let's talk. I wanted to start this because I know you got a lot of stuff on HollywoodandToto.com, including Fackham Hall, which looks freaking hilarious. I want to get to that. But I pose this question to you because it's very important to me. A Christmas Carol is the favorite story of my life. It's my favorite story. Every year I see it, I love it. And I wanted to ask you what you think the best, let's say top 3, top 5, whatever, versions of Christmas Carol. I want to hear what you have to say. Hollywood and Toto's Christian Toto.
I have a very childish, a complete lack of really gravitas choice.
Yes.
And I texted you briefly. I think it's the Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol because as a child, it's the one that I watched the most, I connected with the most, the songs I found endearing. And I think, as much as I enjoy the story behind this,
yes.
I just feel like it's been done so often, I feel a little burnout. So I kind of go back to that Magoo.
Mr. Magoo. and since Joe Biden was the president, it's real similar.
Maybe that's why I enjoy it so much. It brings back old Joe.
I think you said, what else did you say? You said another one earlier. What was the other one that you said you really liked other than Magoo?
There's the Muppets version with Michael Caine as well. So you think about the Muppets.
The Muppets, no, and Caine was great in that one. Caine was great in that one. Really, really good. Here's
It's funny how the actors rise to the occasion when they're starring alongside Muppets. They take it seriously, and I think they just have such affection for the Muppets, as do we all. But they don't phone it in.
It's a silly movie, and it's a fun movie. Oh, I just added one. That I really like, actually, because I have Gen Z kids. Here's my list. Number 1, George C. Scott, 1984, made for television. No bones about it. He's number 1, the best Scrooge ever. That's the way it is.
That's fair.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Scrooged with Bill Murray. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
I mean, timeless. Think of your fellow man. Lend him a helping hand. Oh, my God. Alistair.
You know what's funny about that movie? When that one came out, though, it was not a huge hit.
No.
I think the hype was so overboard that maybe it just didn't land the right way, but it's aged beautifully. So
when I saw it originally, my initial response was, "Oh God, Christmas Carol is beaten to death. Why do we need another version of Christmas Carol?" This is the stage of my life. I was like maybe 19, 20 years old, but it is. It's a masterpiece. It's a perfect movie. It's like Die Hard. Die Hard is a perfect movie. I mean, you could debate whether it's Christmas. I think it is, but it's a perfect movie. Perfectly cast, perfect story. Best movie villain ever. Perfect movie.
And then I think that's a word you use lightly, by the way.
Oh no.
Just having known you for a while.
Nope.
Yeah.
Alistair Sims, 1951. I'm gonna go down to number 3. I think that's really good. 1971's Albert Finney. That one's really good.
These actors, I think these actors are the secret sauce here. We get people of consequence and gravitas who can really drill into the character. I mean, I think that's one of the many reasons why they keep telling the story again. It's the redemption arc is so magnificent.
Yes, and they keep reinventing the story. They reinvent the story.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Muppet for me, dude. Number 5 is number 6. Are you ready for this? Patrick Stewart, 1999.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have not seen that one, but he's a great actor. He's a great actor, too.
Okay, number 7. This isn't really Scrooge, but it's the SpongeBob Christmas movie live action. It's really funny.
But now I feel a little better.
Have you seen it? You don't have Gen Z kids?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's so funny. Don't be a jerk. It's Christmas. I just threw that in. It's certainly not. I'm going to go with the next one. Jim Carrey, 2009, the animated. I thought it was very good. I can only watch it every few years, but I thought it was very good. And I'll just say, wrapping out the top 10, you may disagree because my son thinks this movie is dumb. But it came out like last year or the year before. It's Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
You know, I need to watch that again because I didn't love it the first time.
I know.
I know a lot of people who I respect really enjoyed it. So that may be kind of a revisiting for me.
I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. I do want to get to other stuff here, including Fackham Hall. Be careful when you say that on the radio, because it's a parody of Downton Abbey, right? Downton Abbey? Yeah. Which, by the way, and I've said this, if you watch as a man Downton Abbey with your wife or girlfriend, it's 2 apologies. It is worth 2 apologies. You're clear for 2 apologies. So we'll talk about it on the other side of the break with Christian Toto on the Rob Carson Show. Back in a few.
Give me 3. 3, 2, 1.
Ring-a-ring, it's cold when they mingle. It's cold. It's frightfully cold. Please, Mr. Scrooge, please just one piece of coal, Mr. Scrooge. It's cold, so cold.
I got to tell you, that's pretty good. That's pretty good theater right there. That's Jim Backus as Mr. Scrooge, 1962's Christmas Carol that Christian Toto says is one of his fave. That actually, I'd forgotten how good that is. That's really good.
Yeah, that might be the best Christmas gift I get all season. Were you playing that song for me?
Well, that's all you're getting from me.
That's it? Oh, okay. That's more than enough.
No, I'm gonna have to watch it again. But that really was good. And Jim Backus was a hell of an actor. Mr. Howell on Gilligan's Island, of course. Among the other things that he did.
Yeah, my favorite line from him on the show was people would say, "Money you can't buy happiness with money you don't know where to shop." I think it's what it was.
Hell yes, 100%. Couldn't agree with it more. I can't tell you how much having a little money in the bank account versus being broke is. I was on antidepressants, and that turns out if you quit drinking, you have a job, you don't need them.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about Fackham Hall. Fackham Hall. What, like Naked Gun meets Downton Abbey?
That's exactly what it is. And I have to say, I watched the first 20 minutes, and I laughed and I laughed. Oh my gosh, they finally got the formula right. Someone did that sort of David Zucker combination of whimsy and silliness. And then the rest of the movie is fine and it's good, and I did laugh and I did enjoy it overall. But that first 20 minutes, that first blast of comedy was just perfection. So it can sustain. It doesn't hold up. It's still an enjoyable film. And if you see the trailer, it's very funny, but it's not one of those cases where all the good jokes are in the trailer. There's a lot more to be seen. So definitely recommend it. It just, I think to me, it made me revisit and reevaluate Naked Gun, Top Secret, Airplane, because they're so good. They're so consistent. They never let up.
Yeah. Did you see I haven't seen the Liam Neeson version of Naked Gun.
It's very good. It comes close. Again, it doesn't really have the sustaining power where the last half hour is just as funny as the first, but it's surprisingly funny, and I think they get that sentiment right. That sort of silly, goofy, they're going to throw a dozen jokes at you at any given moment, and some will be silly, some will be bad, some will make you groan, and some will make you howl. That's a good combination.
All right, well, I'm going to see. Where can you see Fackham Hall? Where is that available?
It's in limited release right now, so not in as many theaters as a major wide release, but it's in some theaters, and I suspect it'll probably pop on video on demand very soon. I think it's one of those titles that's not gonna stick around too long. It's a minor release, but you know what? Very funny.
What do you think of movies, Christmas movies that are not Christmassy, like Christmas horror movies, or what was that awful movie that Billy Bob Thornton did, the Santa Claus, whatever the hell, he was this offensive and terrible Santa Claus. I couldn't watch that piece of crap. What do you think about those movies? Sorry.
It's not directly for me, but I have to say, if you're bludgeoned by sweet, friendly, family-friendly, nice Christmas movies, it's a bit of a tonal change. It kind of, it spikes the punch a bit. So I think there's a place for it. I think they've gone overboard with it. There are a lot of horror movies where Santa's the killer, or there's some sort of, Christmas-related monster going around. So, I think enough is enough. But again, I think once you've had your fill of Yuletide cheer, you want a little different. So I think that it fits a purpose. But I go back to Elf. I can't. That's my guess.
You know what, dude? I didn't mention Elf. Elf is in my top 10. Elf is definitely. Why did I even forget Elf?
Christmas movies versus Christmas Carol. I mean, they're sort of.
Well, the Christmas. You're right. I was thinking Christmas Carol. You're right. Again, I get my streams crossed. But I will tell you, as far as favorite Christmas movie of all time. It's 1984, Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. And Elf is way up there. And you ought to... How old are your kids?
The 14 and 16.
14 and 16. It may not be too late to watch SpongeBob Christmas. I'm not kidding. It's really good. It's really funny.
SpongeBob is consistent, man. I love that whole franchise.
Well, it's about SpongeBob. They have this... Plankton comes up with this fruitcake that makes people evil and awful and everything. and it's really funny. And then they'll eat this... And they'll just become awful, and then here's SpongeBob all happy and everything, and it's really, really funny. I got to tell you, it's really well done. I know they just did a new version, a new Christmas movie with SpongeBob. I would feel real weird sitting in my apartment by myself watching it. But you might watch it with the kids. You might watch it with the kids. Christian Toto, as always, great to have you on. Where can people see all your glorious work, hear your podcast, etc.?
My home on the web is hollywoodintoto.com, or you can check me out on Twitter, same handle, @HollywoodInToto.
All right, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Have a glorious week. We'll talk again soon.
All right.
We'll talk again soon. Where is that song? I promised you a song. Oh, yes, I promised you a song. I promised you a song from Jim Gossett. Let me set it up. Because Pramila Jayapal saying really stupid crap about Donald Trump deporting illegals, and the Democrat Party hates it because their gravy train is ending. Here she is saying that being undocumented is not a crime, even though it's a crime.
Being undocumented is not a crime. It's a point I've been making a lot lately.
Yes, it is. It is a crime. It is a crime anywhere else in the world. They will kick your ass right the hell out of those countries, including in Mexico. And that's where I'm going to play this Christmas classic from Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show. Literally did this a couple of years ago, but I think like 1984's
Please pack your bags.
Christmas Carol, this is worth it.
Police, pack your bags. Police, pack your bags, 'cause Trump won and you are headed back.
Hasta la vista.
Please grab your coat.
It's not racist.
Please get your hat.
You just can't live here.
You're here illegally, and that settles that. GTFO to Trende Aqua, and say goodbye to your friend Kamala. You'll have to find someone else to follow, 'cause Trump's not on your side.
Timeless.
Felice us no more. Fleece us no more.
Woohoo!
You'll fleece us no more, 'cause it's time for you to hit the door.
Thank you.
I want to wish you deportation.
Deportación.
Mexico is your destination.
Or Venezuela.
We'll even provide the transportation. We're about to kick you out.
There you go. That is a timeless classic. Just like, Scrooge 1984 with George C. Scott. Timeless classic here on The Rob Carson Show. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards?
All right, streamers.
It doesn't matter if you're using...
Streamers! That's a timeless classic, isn't it? Who's watching over here? You guys have been busy today. Sportech. Hey, Sportech. Hey, hold on. What's this here? Hold on. Thanks, Witchy Wimmer. What? I don't even know what that is, Mickey. But it's good to see you around a pony and Astro Turtle. All of you guys over there watching on the Rumbly Roo, as I like to call it, the Rumbly Roo. I do like the SpongeBob movie. I might have to watch it when I go home and with the kids who are now adults. It's weird. Duckman 588. Who would have thought Steve Urkel would make a bomb? What are we talking about there? I'm not sure. Steve Urkel. I'm watching while you guys are writing here, and I can't I can't keep up with all of it, but it's good to see you guys. Isle Q91 says it's elk mating season. Male and female elk make baby elk. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys are a trip. I don't even know where to start with you guys watching. Let's go to Facebook. Kathy Donan, hello. We are here, Carsonites. We're Carsonites. Is that what we're calling you guys? We're calling you guys Carsonites. All right, you can call yourself Carsonites. I don't care. I just call you guys my friends. You know, you mean a lot to me. Bad Santa's the name of the Billy Bob Thornton movie. I can't watch it because he's mean to the kid. I can't watch it. It's mean. It's a mean movie. I can't go there with kids, with children. I can't go there with him being and using that kind of language around children, even though I did it when I was putting together IKEA furniture. I'm sorry. All right, how much time I got, Brian?
You got about 3:20 here and playing Silent Night.
Oh boy. Brian, why do you do this to me? It's my favorite song. My favorite Christmas song. I'll explain why at a later date. Let's not do it now. Gold is at $4,225 this week. $4,225. It paused a little right about $4,000, but it rose from last January when it was $2,600. It's tempting you, it's teasing you, it's going, why are you not putting your IRA or 401k in gold with Birch Gold? What the heck are you thinking? Do I have to smack you upside the head? Do you have to be visited by three spirits, for God's sake, for you to wake up Christmas morning and go, oh my God, gold is awesome? It was kind of a stretch. Right now, if you buy gold from Birch Gold, actually you invest in gold from Birch Gold, for every $5,000 you get an ounce of silver. Silver is up 60% this year. Gold is up from $2,600 to $4,200, like I just said. But it's only going on until the 22nd, so you better get on it right now. And you know how to do it. It's easy. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898, Rob to 989898. Get on that. They're going to send you information, and you're going to be eligible for that free silver. There are a lot of things happening right now. Uncertainty, and of course, central banks are buying gold. It's not going down in value, kids. It's going to go up and up and up and up and up. And you want it to be $10,000 next year? Because if it keeps this trajectory, you're looking at $6-7 grand gold. I would recommend you do it, and I'm not screwing around because my money is in it. Text Rob to 989898 for a free info kit. Get eligible for free silver. Here is from Birch Gold. Army vet Ed Bombas, 88 years old. He was working at a grocery store, and this Australian influencer met him, and he said, why are you working, sir?
What's your name?
Ed.
I'm Sam.
Okay.
I actually had someone nominate you from this store and said you're very hardworking.
Well, I try to be.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 88.
And still working?
Yes, I have to.
Why do you have to keep working?
Retired from General Motors in 99. In 2012, I went bankrupt, and they took my pension away from me.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a wife?
She passed away 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
She was sick when I lost my pension.
So you've been struggling a bit?
A little bit.
You said that you lost your pension?
Yes, sir, I did.
So this influencer got online, did a GoFundMe. It's about $1.5 million. Ed Bombas won't have to work again. This is one of the good things that happens online. You guys helped my brother David. My brother David with cancer, you gave him $8,000 that I didn't have. Give to the Salvation Army. Don't walk by a kettle, all right? And watch my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, on Sunday night. Go to newsmaxtv.com for listings. God bless you. America is founded. Donald Trump as he makes America greater. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.